Marbles are pieces of incredible beauty with truly mesmerizing interior designs. These small spherical objects are not only a source of fun but also used in the industry. To manufacture them, large quantities of molten glass are required. But how are glass marbles made? We visited a glass factory and a craftsman's workshop to learn in detail how marbles are created. Marbles have a very ancient origin. It is said that they were already used in Egypt, and the Greeks and Romans also made use of them. Initially, these spheres were associated with religious purposes, but later they became a form of entertainment. The first marbles were made from clay, stone, and marble. Nowadays, glass has become the main material thanks to its versatility, durability, and low cost. Marbles are considered a precision throwing game, and there are several ways to play. The manufacturing process of marbles is carried out in most cases with recycled glass from beer bottles, perfume jars, ornaments, and even other defective or deteriorated marbles. The glass is sorted by color, and the process begins with melting it in a large furnace at 1500 degrees Celsius. This temperature turns the material into a thick liquid that can flow through the furnace like a river while being moldable into marble shapes. If the temperature were lower, the liquid would be too thick to flow, while a higher temperature would make it too liquid, preventing the formation of marbles. Before the transparent glass reaches the end of its path in the furnace, colored glass is introduced. This colored glass also melts inside the furnace, but retains its structure within the transparent glass, forming decorative lines inside the marbles known as cat's eye. The melting process inside the furnace takes 16 hours. Once the glass is ready, it is cut into small pieces with a carbon blade every half second. Each cut fragment becomes a marble, and the size of the marble depends on how the carbon blade is adjusted. The fragments then go through a slot with rotating iron molds or rollers that prevent them from sticking together and help achieve the circular shape of the marble. During this phase, the marbles start to cool, allowing the design inside them to become visible. The transparent glass does not mix with the colored glass because it cools from the outside inward, creating an external crust that keeps them separate inside the marble. The colored glass takes longer to solidify, but the movement in the rollers makes it spin inside, resulting in the distinctive and interesting designs. Once the marbles finish their journey through the iron rollers, they are at a temperature of 500 degrees Celsius. They slide down a ramp and are placed in a container to gradually harden. At this point, they can roll without deforming, but the temperature is still so high that a piece of paper could burn upon contact. The total cooling of the marbles takes 24 hours, always from the outside inward to avoid breaking due to quick cooling. After the marbles have cooled enough to be handled without burning, a worker performs a quality control check by inspecting each one individually to discard any broken or improperly shaped marbles. Then the marbles are placed in bags using a machine. Each bag contains marbles of different colors, ready to reach the consumers. This is the most common process for manufacturing marbles, but there are other methods. One of them involves injecting colored glass paste before it cools and solidifies, creating the unique interior design. However, marbles with the most complex and impressive designs are handmade by skilled glass artisans. The handmade process starts by preheating transparent glass in a furnace overnight until it becomes molten. The craftsman takes a small amount of molten glass with a steel rod and attaches it to a preheated colored glass piece, forming a mass. This mass is manipulated to create a thin strip as thin as a noodle and up to 5 meters long. Once solidified, the strip is cut into segments of different colors, which will be used for the interior of the marble. Next, the craftsman takes another piece of molten transparent glass and shapes it with the help of a wet newspaper. After forming the glass mass, it is rolled over the preheated strips of colored glass and taken to the furnace. This step is repeated up to 3 times, incorporating strips of different colors. The glass mass is always rolled on a metal table to even the surface, and layers of transparent glass are added on top. The mass is then stretched until it reaches a length of half a meter, from which several segments will be taken to form cores. The craftsman takes a core of 5 centimeters and rolls it over thicker strips of colored glass, fusing them inside the furnace. Then they flatten the core outside the furnace with tweezers, cut off the excess, and wrap the core with a layer of transparent glass. The next step is shaping the core, which is done with the help of wet newspaper. The core is rolled over strips of glass again and taken to the furnace to fuse the layers. Another layer of transparent glass is added, and the interior of the marble is now ready. The craftsman then shapes the glass into a sphere using metal and wooden tools while measuring the diameter rigorously. Once the sphere is sculpted, it is separated from the rest of the glass segment, and the resulting bulk is melted back together. Afterward, the marbles are placed in a 530 degrees Celsius oven and slowly cooled for several hours to reinforce the glass. This process allows obtaining marbles about the size of a golf ball, approximately with unparalleled beauty and the highest level of quality. Regardless of whether marbles are manufactured in factories or by artisan workshops, the result is simply excellent. The transparent spheres with unique interior designs are extraordinary, with fine curved lines known as cat's eye, which are a clear comparison to the shape of a feline's eyes. Nowadays, it is easy to find marbles of different sizes, and each with a unique and unrepeatable interior design. They are usually made with assorted colors, and extensive and surprising collections are easily accessible. Handcrafted marbles are ideal for those who want the most special and unique pieces. Have you ever played with marbles? Would you like to participate in their manufacturing? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you want to know how Magnum ice cream is made, watch the video on your screen, and please like the video if you enjoyed it and share it with someone who might be interested. Also, subscribe to this channel by activating the notifications to continue learning. Thanks for watching.